Facebook to see if we're live, because this would be terrible if we weren't actually live. But we should be live on Facebook. And right now we've got the winners of the Railspike competition from ManIron. We've got Andrew Paquette, Steve Dupras, and Gariock. And I'm Justin Lamrou, and Lyndon is in the middle of the screen. And tonight we're going to spend about an hour and a half talking with these guys about their experiences of ManIron and blacksmithing in general. So while the live feed is happening, everyone who is on Facebook should be able to write a comment in the live feed, and we should be able to bring it up on the screen just like this. So that would
says you can't see anything.
Oh, you guys can't see it?
I see that.
Okay. Sorry, Andrew. But it should be on screen, and your question will be highlighted. So we'll take turns running through questions, and I see that we actually do have 2 live viewers on Facebook. Might be one of you guys, or both of you, 2 of you guys. So what's the point of the show, Lyndon?
Well, the point of the show is we did ManIron, what was it, about a month or 2 ago now at this point?
Yep.
We had a little bit of a competition that we did at the end of ManIron, tied it into the videos. With the Railspikes, we had the option that you could do a single spike sculpture, a multi-spike sculpture, or a railroad spike knife, one of those 3 options. The 3 gentlemen that we have with us here tonight are the winners of those 3 categories. Gariock was the winner of the multi-spike submission. Steve was the winner of the single spike, and Andrew was the winner of the spike knife. Andrew did something rather unique with this spike. He actually demolished the spike into something that was no longer a spike, but the knife he made was absolutely phenomenal. Steve kept his spike very well intact, so you could still tell that it was a spike with his project. Did a very beautiful job. All the lines were very well brought together. Everything was very linear. Very well done, Steve. And Wade took a bunch of spikes and built something out of this world that was actually very much from this world. It was a rendition of a little bit of a pond situation there with some leaves and a bulrush. And again, he kept a lot of the spike qualities intact so that you could still tell that there was a railroad spike essence to it all. So today we're pretty much going to go over those 3 submissions with these 3 fine gentlemen, ask them a couple questions as to what inspired them, the process that they went through in order to make their pieces, and maybe find a little bit about them themselves as well. Give them a bit of a spotlight to tell us who they are, where they're from, what they're about. I guess off of that, Justin, if you have anything to add to it, go ahead.
Yeah, no. I think later on we'll show what they made. I have them ready on screen for screen share. So when we get down into maybe them explaining what their what they made, then we can bring it up on screen so we can see it. But yeah, I think the purpose of this stream was also to feature obviously the artist, but also to get some practice. We're trying out different systems for streaming. Right now we're on StreamYard, and we're trying to get used to it for future events. Any future events you want to talk about, Lyndon?
Well, unfortunately, right now with COVID being the way it is, we're a little thrown off on everything. Who knows when the next in-person event is going to be, which is what we're all really looking forward to, is getting back together in person. Steve, I don't think you were able to attend ManIron at all last year, were you, in person? Wade, were you at ManIron?
No, I had just joined the guild at that
Okay, and Andrew, I don't believe you were there either, were you?
Oh yeah, I was. I made it.
For the first ManIron, you were there? Okay, I'm sorry. You were also at the hammer-in that we had at Derek Foster's place as well, right?
The Derek Foster one?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't make it to that one. Bummer.
Yeah, so I mean, we've had those two in-person hammer-ins now, which were real good times. We had a lot of fun at those, and we're looking forward to the next one for sure. In the meantime, what we're going to do is some more of this online stuff. In the next couple of months following up this live event that we've got going on right now, we're going to do once a month is what we're looking at right now anyways. Once a month, we're going to get together, do a live stream, talking to one of the blacksmiths, talking amongst ourselves about blacksmithing, maybe add in some sort of element to get everybody else involved, like another competition with prizes. That's the kind of thing that we're going to be looking at doing over the next few months. And what this is all leading up to is a very large event that normally would be held in person, ManIron. And ManIron is something that we're going to try to host virtually like we did with ManIron. ManIron is the Canadian version of blacksmithing events that everyone really across Canada, even from the United States, they look forward to ManIron. There's people that come up for that. We're supposed to be held in Fergus, Ontario coming up this summer. Got canceled because of this lovely COVID flu BS that we've got going on. Fast forward to June, who knows what's going to be happening, but we do know that we're going to be presenting a online version of ManIron, so that there's at least something that we can look forward to in the future here, blacksmithing events.
Yeah, so that's a huge national event. When they announced it was canceled, we kind of stepped up saying, why isn't something done like nationally, like online? And they said, well, I'll go for it. So we're stepping into those boots, I think. So let's get this going, man. We've got Andrew. Let's start off with you because you are the winner of the Spike Knife competition. And you're the first name on the list because you start with the A. So there you are. And so I'm just going to give like a rough intro for Andrew, and then we'll jump. We'll get Andrew to kind of talk about to fill in the blanks because, yes, we're all blacksmiths. The guild is kind of new. We haven't hung out that often. I think I've met Andrew just a few times. So we are, although doing all the same kind of stuff in our shops, we don't know each other that well. So we'd love to get to know Andrew a little bit more. And then afterwards, we'll jump from Steve and then to Wade. So let's do the rough intro for Andrew. So Andrew runs Oak and Embers out of Brandon. It's his home forge. He's been working at it for the last 5 years, and he's into knife making and axe making primarily, but I'm sure like everyone else, he's kind of dabbling into all sorts of different things as long as it involves hot steel. So Andrew, what are we missing? Get us to know you better.
Okay. Well, I started as into welding. I always wanted to get into blacksmithing, but there wasn't a market for it. So I started with welding. I went to Alberta, got my red seal at Nate in Edmonton. Then after that, I moved to Manitoba, got into fixing tractors. So I got my red seal at the Assiniboine Community College for my heavy duty mechanics. And now I'm at a chemical company in Brandon. So basically I like to dabble into a lot of things. Obviously my shop is not quite a normal blacksmith shop. I like woodworking and many other things as well. Oak and Embers, I got the name from where I lived last. I overlooked a valley, had 4.5 acres there, and the valley is full of oak trees. And I was into blacksmithing, so Oak and Embers. It's that. That's pretty much all I can tell you for that. Do you want to do a tour or anything after?
Yeah, we'll jump to that in a little while.
Okay.
What do you think, Lyndon? Do we jump from person to person, or do you want to ask Andrew a question?
Well, let's ask Andrew a little bit about about himself a little bit more. Can you tell us, Andrew, what it was in blacksmithing that was what really drove you to get into it? What was it that you were really, was there some event that you saw as a child, or?
I was more into medieval things, so obviously armor, swords, and everything like that was really neat, and that's kind of why I wanted to get into it originally. Yeah, I don't know. That's pretty much it, right?
Awesome. And you've been working in your home forge for 5 years now, building up your own tools at home. What did you start off with?
Well, as many people, I started with a Mastercraft 30 or 36-inch grinder and a piece of rail, and that's how I started. I dug a 4-foot hole, put a piece of oak into it, put the rail on top of that, and went at it. I built my own coal forge. I tried to make it longer so that since I was primarily into knives, I could do the whole, or get the whole knife hot for the heat treat, obviously. Basic.
Was that coal forge that you brought to, I think it was you brought it to Derek's, right?
Yeah, that's the same one. I'll show it after. It's unique. It works quite well, but it eats a lot of coal.
Okay, no, it's a very cool forge. I like it.
So, Andrew, do you use propane as well, or do you primarily use coal?
For 3 years, I've used coal. Last couple of years, since I moved to town, I've been using propane, so I don't smoke out my neighbors as much.
Yeah. Nice.
And I can more work in the winter as well. So.
Yeah. Nice. Lyndon, one more for Andrew?
We'll kind of give us a highlight of some of your favorite tools that you've got going on right now. I know we're going to see it, but...
I recently picked up a power hammer, a homemade one, and it works quite well. It has its hiccups, but I'm really happy with it, and it really changes the whole thing. It makes everything draw way faster.
Yeah.
And my arm does not hurt at the end of the day.
Nice.
Yeah. I really like my new propane forge. It's a 3-burner. It eats up a lot of propane, but I can do a lot. I usually like to put more than one iron in the fire, so it helps with that.
What kind of forge?
Pardon me?
What type of forge? Like, is it one that you made yourself or store-bought?
I made it out of a 100-pound propane tank, virtually. It's 26 inches long.
Nice. That's awesome.
And I'll definitely show it after when we do our tours. So.
Sounds good, buddy.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, I mean, yeah, maybe we should consider moving on to the next lad here.
Let's do it. Let's move on to Steve. So Steve is running Dupras Wood and Metal Works out of Winnipeg. He's been working steel for the last 7 years. He focuses mostly on knives and artistic work. I had the pleasure of meeting Steve at his shop. When was that? That was a couple months ago, more than that. And he did a little bit of aluminum welding for me. So I was happy to meet you and check out the shop and look at all the little corners and try to get the tips that we don't get otherwise. So yeah, what fill in the blanks, Steve?
Yeah, well, like you said, I've been doing it for 7 years. I just built this shop 3.5 years ago now. Built it myself. It's 12 by 22, so it's kind of small. But with what I do, I'm able to fit everything in here so far.
Nice.
Yeah, I guess I got into it. I always had a wood shop before here, and I was always into woodworking. Moved into metalworking. I bought a 6-foot metal lathe and was working with that for a long time. And then Forge and Fire sort of came out and got me all excited about knife making and getting into that. So I built my own sander and built my forge and went outside in the back and started having at her.
Awesome. was there a specific episode that you saw that kind of turned you on to it, or
It was after like the first season, maybe into the second season. I was like, you know what, I'm doing this. This is awesome.
yeah,
And I just got really excited, and I was always building tools anyhow, so built all my own stuff. I always have built all my own stuff. So
nice. Yeah, it was kind of similar story for myself as well. I saw their setups, and sometimes it was like beautiful shops and like really everything looked organized and perfect, and then it was like the shittiest shops with like just a piece of steel in the backyard and really nothing that I can have at home. So that's what kind of pushed me to do it as well. I was like, well, if he can do it, anyone can do it.
That's right. That's right.
The satellite dish forge.
Yeah, that was totally it. Yeah, nice. That was the Ryu Lim episode. When I saw that, I was like, okay, that makes no sense. I can do that.
Yeah, nice.
The beautiful part was that he kept using it afterwards. Even when he went back for that Champions edition, he was still using that same forge again.
Oh, cool.
Yeah. That's awesome. Good. Let's pass. Or do you have questions for Steve before we jump to Wade?
Yeah, for sure, Steve. What kind of lathe are you running there?
It's a Husky. It's from 1979. It's a 6-foot metal lathe. I forget what the reach is on it. I think it's a 10-inch, maybe. So that's the biggest piece you could put on radius-wise. But I picked it up for a good deal from a family member who passed away way back, and came with all the accessories, all the parts,
perfect,
all extra tooling, all kinds of stuff. So yeah, it's helped me make lots of fun stuff.
For sure. Have you got any education with machining at all, or?
I don't. It's all self-taught. I've just spend a lot of time in the shop and learn. Right.
Read any books on it or YouTube?
I do a lot of YouTube. Yeah. Learning from people who previously, can show you how it's done.
Yeah. Same thing with your blacksmithing. You learn a lot from YouTube, you find?
Yeah, a lot on YouTube. When I want to learn something new, I'll check out some other videos on how people do it and go from there and try to remember how they done it.
Got any YouTube channels that you really find are your highlights?
You know what? I like Shuarp. He does all kinds of Damascus knives, and he's amazing.
Cool.
I would check him out.
Yeah, that's not one I've heard of before.
Yeah, it's SHURP, I think, and he's I think a Russian, but just amazing.
Very cool.
We'll find it and put it in the comments of the live stream later.
Yeah, have a look at that.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool, man. Well, let's hear what Wade's got going on.
All right, so I'll give the rough intro for Wade. So Wade won the multi-spike artistic piece. He runs Peg City Forge, so you can check him out on. Are you on Facebook, Wade, or Instagram?
Yeah, Facebook and Instagram. Yeah.
Oh, perfect. Yeah, so easy to find. He lives in Winnipeg. He's been doing this for a little bit less than Steve Andrew. He's been working metal for the last 1.5 years. So what are we missing, Wade? Fill us in.
Well, I don't have welding experience. I haven't gone to school for anything. I'm a YouTube guy. Nothing about my day job has to do with metal or wood or fabrication of any sort. I don't know. I think when I was younger, I always had an interest in woodworking. I've built a number of things over the years, and kids' cribs and those types of things. And so I think I always had a creative, a little bit of a creative vein in my body, I guess. And similar to what Steve was saying, it was a Forge and Fire episode. I mean, it was, I watched one of those, and I don't know if I got to the second episode before I started YouTubing these guys and trying to find out a little bit more about it. And slowly fell more and more in love with that craft. And while Forge and Fire is still on every week when it's on, you'll find my TV not on regular programs. I'm streaming YouTube videos, and that's really all I'm watching right now is YouTube stuff. Just trying to get better, and it's a little bit of everything. I have an appreciation for sure for those that are doing the knife work. Some of the stuff, even the guys in the group here, I mean, they're amazing, beautiful stuff. I'm more on the artistic side. I have a TV in my forge here, and John Switzer from Black Bear Forge is on right now. Like it's just a constant thing. He's somebody I admire for sure. I think he's a pretty creative guy, and while he's got the capabilities of forming a knife, he's more into ornamental, decorative, utilitarian type pieces. So
yeah, I like to follow him on YouTube as well. It pops up on my feed. I follow him, and he puts out a lot of content too, and it's solid. It's really well filmed and documented, very kind of tutorial style. So
yeah, for sure. Yeah, super educational, and he dumbs it down, right? I mean, you don't need to be a whiz to follow him. So
yeah. Sweet.
Yeah.
Lyndon, what else? Quiz Wade a little bit.
Well, Wade, so you got into this a year and a half ago. What was the first thing that you brought into your shop to get started?
Boy, I literally, similar to Andrew, I had a rail track, and I never got to actually forming it to create something hard to hit on. I lucked out shortly after I got that little piece of rail track. I found my first small little 60-pound anvil and put that on a piece of wood, and that's how it started. I got a couple of just hammers from around. My brother at the time bought me, it was right around Christmas, and my brother had bought me a Dave Custer Fiery Furnace Forge hammer for Christmas, and started the blacksmith journey. So it's a hammer I still am extremely fond of, and probably my go-to in the shop.
Nice. Hey, Lyndon, I've got an idea for a question. We've got a Facebook user that asked a question. I want to get to that in a little bit, but I want to do like a round of questions for everyone. And I'd like for you to start. Let's see where you guys got your anvils from. Either your first anvil or maybe a particular story about an anvil that you like to use. Like they're kind of hard to come across. How did you guys get them? Yeah, Lyndon, start with you.
All right, sure.
Yeah, I'm quizzing you, man.
My first anvil is actually right. Let's see, the camera shows it here.
Oh, that guy, yeah.
Yeah, so I made this anvil. I had this drop of 4140. It's 10-inch diameter, if I'm not mistaken, 3 inches thick. I started off by welding that all to this big conglomeration of BS, and then eventually added on this horn, which is actually all 50, 52, 100, I think. Bearing steel. That's all bearing steel in there that got welded on, and then a piece of tray track that's upside down welded on as well. It rang like a son of a gun until I put this chain around it. There's a little tightening lug in here that, as I tightened that, you could literally listen to the ring disappear into a dull thud, which was something that I was very, very happy with when I got rid of that ring. My first real anvil, sitting right there, is 169-pound Peterite. I picked that up from a gentleman in Kenora over there. It's kind of hidden a little bit. I'm not using it right now because I ended up finding a crack on the heel of it that I need to repair. That I'm a little bit worried about it's going right towards the hardy hole. So I'm like, oh man, if I don't taste that crack out, well, that whole heel's gonna pop off on me. And I've seen lots of anvils like that. So
Too bad. All right, let's move on to Wade. You said you had anvil track, and then you got an anvil.
Yeah, so the first one I bought was I didn't know anything about anvils other than hey, this looks like an anvil, I should buy it. So I bought it. It was in horrible shape. I did what you probably should not do and had the top of it machined to flatten the top, which completely destroyed that anvil. So way to go, Wade. Since then, I think similar to Lando Linden there, I've developed a bit of a hoarding problem with anvils. I think I've got 5 or 6 of them now. I've got a couple 140-pound Peter Wrights. I have one that I had bought after I machined the one that got butchered, Princess Auto one. It does its job. It had a big face and what I needed at the time. And I just recently picked up a 143-pound. Is it a solder force or soda force? I'm not even sure how to pronounce it. From Sweden, 143. It's a 1920 anvil. It's the best shaped anvil I have. I just haven't even had a chance to mount it yet. I'll show you if we do a walk around afterwards what the plans are for it. But,
yeah, we should.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's go to Steve. What tell us about your anvil or a bit of a story related to an anvil?
Oh, my anvil I made myself. It's right there, and
Sweet.
it's 2 railroad tracks that I cut and welded together, and then I bought a 2-inch thick by 12-inch and 4-inch wide piece of hard ox steel, and I welded that on the top as my hitting surface, and then the horn I made out of 1144 stress proof, and I machined a nice cone and then welded it on. And the hardy hole I had cut by a friend. He torch cut it, and that's something I don't have here. Is any oxygen acetylene cutting? So,
Cool.
just the hard ox alone was $180 just for the top slab piece. So, hopefully it holds up.
Crazy. Awesome. Well, that's it. I think everyone has. Wade has his obsession about getting anvils. So does Lyndon. He's got a bunch, and he's bought a few and sold a few, and everyone kind of does what they can with what they have. How about you, Andrew? What are you banging on?
Well, like I said, I started with track,
Yeah.
and then I went to a 100-pound anvil I bought out of Brandon from a guy on the marketplace. It's sitting outside still. I always use it when I do the cold forging. A couple years ago, I got a anvil out of Saskatchewan. The guy said it was 250 pounds. Very excited. A friend picked it up, brought it here. It was 120 pounds. But I cleaned it up. It looked like the top it has been redone, so I was a little leery about it. But I'm really, really happy with it. I'll show you it. See if I can get it in the picture. The top is immaculate, and it doesn't ring at all.
Nice.
And you can't even see the weld on it, right? So whatever they did a really good job at it. Yeah, it's all bad.
Pretty anvil.
Yeah, so I'm really happy with that one. And then I just picked up I think 130 or 40-pound Peter Wright. Can't remember, but it had some cracks in it, so I'm trying to repair it right now off of one of our guild members here. So we'll see how that goes.
I think it's 140 pounds, if I'm not mistaken.
Okay.
Nice. Well, I might as well go too.
What about you? Yeah.
I've got a mouse hole. It's I don't know how heavy is it at Lyndon. I think you did the weight on it last time you were here, but
I think it's like 220 pounds or something, isn't it?
250,
220 or something like that.
220. Yeah. I saw it on Kijiji, and the guy said, "I'll sell it on Monday to whoever has the highest offer." The face had a big crack on it. Even the horn, there was a big crack that went down the side of the anvil on both sides. And I was like, "Well, whatever. It's way bigger than what I had. I had like Wade's first anvil, the 60-pounder or 50-pounder, and offered, I don't know, I think it was $150 or something." So Monday came along. I didn't get a message, so I was kind of disappointed. And then Tuesday he messaged me saying, "Hey, you can come pick it up if you want it." So I asked Lyndon how to weld it up. He kind of gave me some pointers, and it's pretty awesome. I filled in some of the cracks with some 5160, just kind of chunking it and piecing it together. I don't really use that area on the anvil, but there's a couple good spots on the face that I use. It's a big chunk of steel I hit on, so it is what it is.
Anvil, Justin has a sticker on the side of his anvil saying "cautionary" with a bunch of different arrows pointing to different spots, saying "Don't hit here, don't hit here, okay to hit here."
Funny. Lyndon, you're off screen, man. What are you doing over there? Hey.
I don't know. I think I must have moved my camera. Whoops. That's what happened. I'm showing you the anvil, eh?
Oh, that's what it is. Yeah.
Alrighty.
Yeah. We've got a couple questions from viewers. I can't tell who it is. So if you do write a comment, you can write your name in it. Not sure why it's not showing up, but we've got someone who is asking, what was the most difficult or time-consuming piece you've made? Let's start with Wade again. Or do you want to? Yeah.
No, I can go. I have mine's an easy one. I have it right here actually. We cabin. We were doing a renovation to the cabin, and we were doing needed to make a door pull, and this is a little bit of a combination of I guess some metalwork, some welding, and then some forging. So I made this door pull for the cottage, and it's nice. It works. It works. It turns. Everything was all done, and so it mounts on the wall like this, and there's your door pull. So it was. This was for sure the most time-consuming piece I have done. That was, oh my God! Don't even ask me how many hours this was. This was in the early stages of trying to figure out how to move metal, and it was exciting. I was super motivated. I couldn't wait to get home from a day job to go and tinker with it. But that was for sure it. I would guess there's, my goodness, probably 60 hours. And I'm not saying it couldn't be done in 10 hours. I had to redo a whole bunch of things a whole bunch of times.
Yeah. Sometimes it's best not to know. I picked up a time clock for my shop so that I can kind of keep track of some of the things that I make, just so I know like roughly how long it's how time consuming things are. And I often don't use it because I just don't want to.
Oh yeah, I had to go to school to learn how to braze copper to steel to.
Oh wow!
I don't know. Oh yeah, like it was. I had to go meet a guy and take an afternoon tutorial on how to do that because I had no idea. And epoxying cork panels together to grind the cork handles, and it was just a lot of work, but awesome. Tons of fun, super rewarding.
Yeah, well, it's a beautiful piece. Well worth the work. Steve, what about you?
Probably just some complicated knives that have brought me up to about the 16 to 20 hour range on a standard knife. For me, that's kind of high. Usually get them done in like 10 or under. But, some of them get a little complicated and too much filing gone wrong. Have to redo.
Yeah. Nice. Nothing really kind of stands out though.
Not that taken really long or been complex. I've been doing lots of simple-ish stuff and stuff that gets out the door, hammers and barbecue forks, knives.
Nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, sometimes it goes well. So, Andrew, how about yourself?
I don't think I'm ever under the 10-hour mark. I would say that
an axe head or something like that. How long?
yeah, an axe head, it's still quite a bit of time. And it's hard to say because before I was working with the coal forge, and then of course that took a long ass time to do, right? So an axe head would probably be, I couldn't even tell you. I never keep track of it because I'd be sad with myself. But I think my hardest one was the little Japanese dagger. It's probably about that long. It has a wood case, and the hardest part was I couldn't, because you have 5 different angles for the style of dagger for grinding and everything. I pretty much had to do it all by hand and file and sandpaper and all that stuff. So it just took me forever. And then doing the sheath, the wooden sheath, I had to pin everything, and everything had to be tight, and the habaki and everything had to get snug in there. So it was just a lot of work, and it was closer to where I was first starting blacksmithing, so didn't really have all the tools, but still don't. But I think that was the hardest one.
Yeah, it's crazy how one piece will take whatever 10 hours, and then after that one piece, you can shave down half your time sometimes.
Yeah.
It's the learning curve, and then the jigs that you've made and the tools that you've fixed up in the meantime to make things work better.
Especially the Japanese stuff, the fit work for all the handles that takes a lot.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah. How about you, Lyndon?
Oh, fuck. Geez. Am I allowed to curse? I don't know.
It's on Facebook. It's plus 16 group, I think. So.
My longest project.
We don't see your face anymore.
My longest project? Yeah, I know. I was gonna walk over here to kind of show you. I think my longest project has been this big thing.
Oh, the press.
The press.
Yeah.
Working on that for
It's huge.
2 years now. It's still not complete. As you can see, I have gone ahead and used it as is, which I really shouldn't have done, and I buggered up the tip of the wrap, but that doesn't matter because I was cutting that off and welding at a flat plate anyways. So yeah, but that was a ton of work. Blacksmith project, specifically the longest blacksmithing project I've done.
Yeah, hammer or something like that.
I'll show you here. It would be probably this axe head here is probably I've been working on this for a couple of months now. The problem is I don't work on it solidly. I have to find the right inspiration per se to feel like I want to work on it, because it's a special piece. This is for my brother-in-law, and I want to make sure that it comes out right, that the right heart is put into it per se, and that I'm happy with it in the long run. There's a lot of stuff that I feel that I don't put that quality of time into, and when I'm done with it, I look at it and I see so many things about it that if I would have spent a little bit more time, it would have come out that much better. So with this, I'm trying to spend the time, try to make sure that everything's nice and linear on it, and doing hand signing the secondary bevel now. So
Looks really good from here, for sure.
thanks, guys.
Lando, I hope your brother-in-law knew that you were making that for him, because if he didn't, he might now.
Oh yeah, no, he actually did this for me. So my brother-in-law is a contractor. He builds pools. He actually owns a pool company, CW Leisure. He builds amazing pools. You should go on his Facebook page and check out the pool he's built in his backyard with fountains and a waterfall and all sorts of crazy stuff. But he's a really cool lad, and he does all sorts of construction work on top of the pools. And he said, Lyndon, I need a hammer that is also an axe. I need it to like be able to break things. I need it to be able to chop wood, and I want you to make it for me. So, yeah.
Sweet.
Cool.
Nice. Well, I guess I'll go too then. Man, I don't know. Sometimes my knives take me forever. Like 20 hours, 30 hours. I don't want to know. Sometimes I'll hand sand for like 6 hours straight sometimes just to get them right. But I think a lot of it is piddling around and trying to make sure that that the next knife I make, I have a better setup for it as well. So I'm always kind of like, I just finished a pink knife and a Damascus knife as well. And for that, I ended up making a jig that attaches to my my sander. I'll go grab it after. And it attaches to the side of the sander, so I could just do the front kind of bevel that's at the bolster of the blade or the handle. So I could just do it really quick now. So I'll probably save, I don't know, half an hour, 40 minutes per knife by having this one jig. So yeah, I don't know, 30 hours probably. So like not making money at that point. It's like thanks for the cash. You kind of like cry yourself to sleep a little bit. It's like, man, I could have worked at McDonald's and made way more money. Like,
You wouldn't have enjoyed it.
Yeah, but it's like in the end you get, I don't know, you get nothing because you gave it away.
It's much better to smell like metal dust than
yeah. Well, I look at it as an opportunity to, I don't know, be in the shop and figure out what next to make and make better jigs.
Yeah. And like you said,
How much more to
you're
charge next
twice
time?
as fast next time, right? Or
Yeah,
save up
totally.
your effort, right?
Yeah.
So
Exactly. So Lyndon, we've gone for an hour, no, for 45 minutes. We've got half an hour left if we want. What do we want to do? Do we want to do?
There was another Facebook question, eh?
Yeah, there's another. Oh, you can see that? Oh, you're on Facebook Live and you're seeing that. Sure, let's do that. So we've got a question. What is the most expensive blacksmith tool you own? I'll
Start it off.
look around. The thing I bought that was the most expensive, probably a drill press. Really, that's it. Everything I get is from garage sales, auctions, Kijiji. I am a cheap guy. So when I don't make a lot of money in the end, I'm like, well, I guess I didn't spend too much on my shit either. So yeah, I bought a kiln for $20. So I was at a garage sale and saw that. That's the most expensive cheap thing that I have right now. Wade?
I just recently, same thing, Kijiji. I bought a kind of a combo pack. It was a anvil, press, and power hammer combo.
Oh wow!
I seen that one.
So that would be the most expensive. Breaking it down, the press and the power hammer were about the same amount of money, so they tie to be the most expensive in here, which were still not very expensive.
Yeah, considering the deal you got on all of that as a package. Yeah.
It was just one of those things you just. It was a race, right? I mean, even when talking to the guy, it was. He had no idea, I think, what he probably could have sold it for.
Yeah.
By the time I had talked to him, or spoke to him, I guess, for the second time, there were half a dozen people that had already reached out to him. As far away as Saskatchewan, a guy from Alberta that were driving in on the Sunday to pick it up, kind of thing. So, I was pretty fortunate.
So what was it, Wade? I didn't really understand.
So it was a 140-pound Peter Wright anvil, on a 24-inch stump with all the hammers, the tongs, everything he had, a 30-ton press, and I think it was a 20-pound homemade power. Both the press and the power hammer were homemade.
Oh, wow.
And everything was for under $2,000.
Nice.
Yep.
Yeah, it was a good deal.
That is good. Well,
And just the time savings of just going to one location and getting an entire shop.
Well, you look at I mean, it really is. Oh, pardon me. No. And it ran a 2x72 grinder, and with all the belts. I forgot about that one. Yeah. So that's over. I'll show you that if we do a walk around. Just the anvil, the hammer, and the tools. 140-pound anvil. Even if you said, $5 or $6 a pound, it's a $500 or $600 piece. You throw in, I don't know, half a dozen set of tongs and hammers. I mean, it was really
Good deal.
I almost felt guilty. Almost. he was moving. He had to get rid of it. I think if he had more time to sell it, he priced it high and settled for something a little bit lower. That might make sense. But his truck was packed. He was moving to Ontario, and it had to go. So.
Awesome.
Yeah.
Awesome. Let's end with Steve because I know the answer, and that's a good answer. How about Andrew? Most expensive piece in the shop?
I would say it'd be my power hammer for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a pretty good deal, but still, I mean, it's a power hammer. It costs a lot of money. Next will probably be a 2x72 grinder. That'll be my next big purchase.
Sweet. Where did you pick up your power hammer?
Power hammer came out of Selkirk. A fellow made it with his father. They made it out of all old tractor parts, but they did a pretty good job on it. I would say for sure.
My man Peter made that.
Yeah.
Nice.
Good
Well,
lad.
our question's been revised. So rather than your most expensive, what is your most valued or treasured tool? So we could either answer most expensive or what is the most treasured to you. So let's go. Do you want to change your answer, Andrew, or
No, I think I'm happy with it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lyndon?
Geez. Most expensive tool would probably be my plasma cutter. I picked up one heck of a plasma cutter on a demo deal that I paid an arm and a leg for, but it's worth more than my arm and a leg easily. I can probably throw in a couple more arms and legs in there if I had them to give, but I don't. So, my most valued or treasured tool in my shop? Geez. My forge.
Yeah.
If I didn't have a forge, I wouldn't be doing any of this. So, I mean, yeah. Second to that would be my MIG welder, probably.
Sweet.
And third to that would be probably the press. But, yeah.
Nice. I like your forge is small, it's tidy, it's efficient, it's awesome little forge. What about you, Steve?
For me, my most expensive, as you might know, I just bought a power hammer, brand new Air one from China. So that's almost $6,000. So that's going to be my most expensive and probably will become my most valued one, I would think.
Yeah.
But at this point, I'd say I use my anvil the most. That's probably my most valued tool.
Nice. All right, Lyndon. We're getting towards the end. Do we want to do a quick view of the pieces that these gents made for the Railspike competition? We can kind of outro out of that, and then a quick shop tour. So let's see the pieces, shop tour, and call it a night.
Well, I've got a.
Oh, you've got more. All right.
I've got a couple stickers that I'm willing to give away to the guys if they can answer a couple questions correctly here.
Oh, all right. Let's do that, and then we'll go to the pieces.
All right. Well, so for the winner of this little multiple choice competition, I've got a small sticker package for you guys. I don't have it on hand here, but I've got I believe I got a sticker from Pritchell and Hardy, the Blacksmith podcast, and I think I might have one from Thompson Metals still. But yeah, nothing special. We're all in close vicinity. I'll hook you guys up when we get together. But just a quick little fun thing here for us to do. First person to throw their hand up can take first shot at the questions here. So I want to know parts of the anvil. Name 4 parts of the anvil. Hands up, quick. Who can name them? Wade.
Pritchell, Hardy, Horn, Face.
You got it, buddy. That's 1 point for Wade. Question number 2. With 1075 steel, what does the 75?
I didn't get that. Sorry.
With 1075 steel, what does the 75 signify?
Go ahead, Wade.
Wade had his hand up first. Sorry, guys.
10 carbon, 75 parts of carbon.
Can you embellish a little bit more on what 75 parts is?
70 point. Is it 0.75% carbon?
That's correct.
I have no idea. I could be wrong.
1 more time for Wade.
Hey,
Okay.
Lyndon, I'm going to stop you for a second. You have a fan running in the background or something? No? Okay. I thought maybe that was causing audio interruptions, but
Am I getting jitter or what?
it might just be your internet connection. I don't know.
Probably the freaking connection because I'm in the garage. Son of a gun.
Keep going.
Okay. With a propane forge, what are the 3 types of flames? Name 2.
Don't remember.
We just hit steel. Come on.
The 3 types of flames out of a propane forge that you can witness would be a neutral flame, an oxidizing flame, or a reducing flame. You will get a neutral flame when you have the proper mix of propane and oxygen in your forge. You will get a oxidizing flame when you have too much air blowing into your forge and not enough propane. And you will get a reducing flame when you have too much propane going into your forge. A reducing flame is very nice for guys that are doing Damascus because it will help scale. Okay, so number 4, we've got 2 points for Wade. Everybody else is at 0 still. What is the elemental sign for iron?
Oh.
Wade.
Fe.
Yes, sir. For number 5, what is the elemental sign for copper?
For copper? Cu.
I'll give it to Andrew because he was on there, yeah. Number 6. What is the melting point of what is the melting point of steel? Andrew.
1500?
That is correct. We've got 2 points for Andrew, 3 points for Wade, right?
I should have been writing the answers or the points down. Everyone wins, except for Steve.
Okay, Andrew, you might get to tie it up here if you're lucky. I think
it's 5.
Name 2 of the founding members of the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild. Extra points if you get all 3. Steve.
Justin and Landon. I don't know the third one.
You got 2 out of 3. That is, you got 1 point for that.
Andrew put his hand up too.
No.
Oh! Give Andrew the extra 2 points. And that puts him in the win for the sticker package. Well done, Andrew. Jon Bardell was one of the other founding members of the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild. Without him, we wouldn't be here today.
Awesome. All right. So let's go on to looking at the pieces that you guys made. And I'm just going to bring that up, share screen, Chrome tab. All right. Right here we have Steve's two-prong fork. Here we see him adding some heat to the, or maybe tell us, Steve, what's going on here? What are you heating?
That's actually where I add the color because it had a nice blue finish on it. So I'm heating it up so it can oxidize at around the 600 Fahrenheit there and get all blue.
Nice. I'll go through all three and then we'll bounce back and see what you can tell us about this piece. Andrew Paquette, we've got the spike knife, crazy handle. And here's Wade's decorative piece, artistic, multi-spike winning piece with a little turtle.
Yeah, the turtle. I forgot about that.
That's
Yeah.
awesome.
Yeah.
Best part of it.
I think it was a
So
bugger.
a bug.
No, it was a bugger.
Oh yeah, for sure. Let's jump to Steve. We started with you. So what can you tell us about that? The prong fork.
Well, it's forged out of a Railspike. It's I draw it out all by hand. I use a 8-pound mallet and just draw it out, and then I draw out the forks, and everything is cut with my angle grinder, and then make the forks on the anvil and give it a twist and shine it up on the wire wheel. And then I heat it up to, like I said, to around 600 Fahrenheit, and it gets its nice blue color. You got to try to do it nice and even across it, otherwise you end up with a mixture of colors. But
Nice. How did you? Can you explain a little bit how you got the pattern in the handle? Like you said, you cut it with your angle grinder, but can you?
yeah, so what you do is you cut vertical lines down the length on all sides, and then on two of the opposite sides, you cut from one line to the other on the opposite end in between to make each square. And then once all the squares are cut on both opposite ends, you heat it up and then twist it.
Nice. And
Yeah.
What was the overall length on
You're
that?
only that one's just over 12 inches, about 13 inches.
Nice.
Yeah. The only difficult part about twisting it is because near the fork, it gets a lot thinner. It twists at a different ratio than where it's thicker. So you got to use kind of two tools to make it turn nice and even. Other than that, it's pretty straightforward.
Super.
Were you using a spray bottle to control the thinner areas for twisting? Like, were you trying to, even from the tempering side, were you trying to cool them down? And because I know that normally if you're trying to blue that stuff, as you bring it to that temperature, that peacock color or whatever you're getting to, you would dip it in water. But because of the length of it, were you using a spray bottle or something to try to control that? Or
no, I just heat the whole length at once, back and forth with the torch, nice and evenly. A little more in the thicker area, and then a little less in the thin, and kind of work it. And as it gets there, it starts to yellow, and you watch that it's nice and even, and then it slowly colors bluer and bluer, and you just keep it even and even, and that's pretty much how I do it. Yeah.
Did you end up treating the material so that it preserves the color on the spike?
All I do, like I quench it in water to cool it down after, and then I rub it with mineral oil just to oil it up and keep it food safe as well. So
Nice.
Mineral oil is beautiful for holding that color too.
What's that?
Mineral oil is very beautiful for holding that color.
Yeah, it livens it up. It brightens it right up, eh?
Yeah. You take it one further, you throw it in the oven when you're done at about 300, 350 with the mineral oil on there. Don't do it in the house. I made that mistake. But it soaks that mineral oil right into the steel, and it actually adds a little bit more patina to it. That is just beautiful.
Oh, yeah. I'll have to try that. Yeah.
Cool. Andrew, I'll put you up on the main page, and then let's go back and look at your knife here. Just a bit of a process to get to it. Give me a second. All right. So we've got your spike knife. What What were you thinking with this handle? It's crazy.
Well, I wanted to do something different than most people. I did throw up the idea of keeping the head of the spike for sure, but I wanted to do a little bit different. So I went with this. Like Steve, for that half cube twist, I did the same thing. I started with the handle. I probably wouldn't do that again because it was hard to get to the blade the way I wanted it. I split the. I drew it out and I split it with a hot cut, and I used a couple tongs. After I hammered it nice and round, used a couple tongs and wrapped it, and then did a whole twist, and then wrapped it around itself. Then I did the knife part, and then kind of did the finishing all at once.
Very cool.
Rounded in the grinder, heat treated. Yeah.
Nice.
Pretty much
Yeah, it's very different. Something that, especially with the split ends, kind of wrapping around each other.
Yeah, it's nothing I've ever done before. I'm not that artistic, so I have to try something new.
Yeah. Sweet. Wade, I'll bring you up, and let's go look at this turtle again. Where? Oh, share screen. Here we are.
Yeah,
see
so
that?
it's some drawn out pieces of railway spike. I think that's what prompted the purchase of the press and the power hammer I just got.
Awesome.
Yeah, because I was feeling it at the end of the day, trying to draw those 4 things out. The the reeds are all, I don't know if you can see very clearly, but the bases are clearly the rail spike heads. It's a rail spike challenge, and I wanted to make sure that was very obvious in the piece. And I live a little bit in the country, just outside in Winnipeg, but on a few acres, and I have a pond in my backyard, as you can see. And this is what I look out when I look out my house. So
Nice.
it was kind of a cool thing. I think it was Steve that mentioned in a post at some point. I'm not sure who else had it, but Matt Jenkins over at Cloverdale has a guillotine tool that is something else, and I use that guillotine tool to create the bull rush,
Nice.
which worked out really well. The turtle was probably the most challenging part. I had a great idea, thinking I'd use the head of the rail spike as the shell of the turtle, and then cut off the rail spike. Same thing, hot cut. Form the legs, pull the legs out, draw a head out. That'd be perfect. But oh my God, I should have left the material way longer because I'm trying to fumble with this half-inch piece of steel underneath the shell, which was a nightmare. And I love it because in the little write-up from the, I think it was it Winnipeg Arts or whoever the judge was for this, she had said that I had created this perfect oasis with that curved leaf covering the turtle, and I'd love to take credit for that. That was totally unintentional. That's just where the turtle ended up, and but whatever, it worked, so I'm happy with it.
Wade, an artist, always intentional.
Hey, I sell insurance for a living. I don't do this.
I didn't realize the turtle was actually ahead of a spike. That just elevated it for myself. So
yeah, it's literally
oh, awesome.
the head of a rail spike.
Very cool.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Huh. Creative. So creative.
Positioned under a bent leaf. Yeah.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
Intentionally.
Totally intentional. I was 100% intentional. No.
Nice. Sweet. Lyndon, what's next?
You know what? I was just gonna check that out. What is next?
We can do let me check if there's any comments or questions. No, we're at the end of our list there.
Looks like
We played our game. We can either do a bit of a shop tour, or we can do tips for smiths, something that you could recommend to other smiths that would help them up their own blacksmithing game?
I think let's get everybody to show us their shop. Let's start with Wade. Show us around your shop a little bit if you don't mind. What you want to show us, anyways.
Yeah, no, it's fine. Let me just figure out how to turn this camera around here. Oh, that's funny. Very, yeah,
Well,
right to the beer fridge. Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. So it's the Princess Auto stand-up drill press. Have my little portaband set up. My little
Nice.
homemade, just bought 2x72. Just some storage for everything else you need. I have GS tongs. They're his custom bending jig, which is a pretty cool tool. It's completely adaptable to whatever you want it to do.
Oh, neat.
All of my dies were Matt Jenkins, Cloverdale Forges
Nice.
guillotine tool, little 1x30. Making a bunch of brackets right now for a closet, for a clothes hanger in a closet for someone. So that's what's going on right now. Belts, workbench. Here's the temporary setup. I have to get some electrical done for this thing. I don't have my garage plumbed for this press, but that's the press I picked up.
Awesome.
And the hammer here.
Oh, looks nice.
So I got to build a base for this thing. It bounces around a little bit on this concrete, so got to build a base for that. The great thing about this press, and I've used this thing a little bit, it's on wheels, which is great. So it's super maneuverable, which is nice. All your standard quench tank stuff you need to have. Of course, you got to have the TV, and there's a Switzer in the background as promised. Anvil setup. I've got this is the 140 P right. That's your Princess Auto Special. That's the Solder Force, the 143. 5-inch, 4-inch
Nice.
suppressor welder, and then the rack of stuff. It's just all everything you need to make. There's my.
Ooh.
Excited to get into the
Powdered
canister
steel.
stuff. Yeah. And then it's I guess further to the piece that I made. I'm making a larger piece right now along the same lines with same idea, the bulrushes, and then the varying weed pieces. So there'll be a table base down here, this extended up above, so a live edge piece, and then down the floor. So.
Oh wow.
And this is what the solder force is going to go on eventually, but it's a huge piece of wood that I've got to level off. And that's the setup.
Very organized.
Whoa,
Yeah, I know,
whoa.
it's crazy clean right now. It's weird.
What's in that cup?
What's that?
What's in that cup?
Apple juice.
Oh, yes, of course. On ice, right?
Yeah, of course. It's Sunday. We got work tomorrow.
Perfect. Nice. Shop tour, Andrew?
Sure.
Awesome.
Okay, I'll do my camera. So like I said, I'm kind of all over the place with what I do. So, right. So, here's my kind of the part of my mechanic shop. I have my toolbox. And then I'm into woodworking. That's going to be a floating TV's mount or stand, and a coffee table.
Super.
And then on to more woodworking stuff. And then the blacksmith area. I'll start with the bones though. We just moved in a year and a half ago, and it's pretty basic in here. So we paint the floor, paint the walls and ceilings so that's a lot brighter in here. I put in a 100 amp panel, and then I did all the wiring all the way down, put plugins, and then shelving on top of that. Still got to do that. I also put in a 100 watt or 10,000 watt heater, and then I'm gonna do all the plumbing for wiring, and then a plug for a compressor in that corner. So basically, got all my stuff for everything in here. It's just a junk pile, but paints and whatever, epoxies, all that stuff. The one in the corners for drills and all my drill bits and screws and all that stuff, and on to blacksmithing. So I have a mill that I got from a friend that wasn't working, and he just gave it to me. I got it working, and yeah, I'm happy with that one.
Nice.
Got the bandsaw, got the power hammer that we talked about before. It, like I said, it works quite well. It just, at the end of the day, it seems to, I'll tell you in a second. Show you it's working. The harder you push the pedal, the further it goes down, of course.
Awesome.
It's a leaf spring base and everything. I put a new base on it because it was weighed the same pounds the floor pretty hard, and then I extended the foot pedal so I could touch it without dealing with it too much. The only issue I have with this guy is the dry side's this side, and the other side's this, and the idler is not really built for that, so I'm just going to replace the idler, and it should do quite well after that. And then I got the vices, and everything in my shop pretty much is homemade. This is my striking anvil. There's that anvil I was telling you about before. And then this big guy I got from Linden.
I thought I recognized that.
And then this is my coal forge that I brought at the last hammer in. Like I said, I built it this way with the holes in it and everything. And then a fan. I built it because of knife making, so I can just lay the whole knife from this side in.
Super.
But now I just use it for my tong holder.
Sweet
Tong rack. And then this is the big guy, the big propane 3-burner.
Wow.
I got the 100-pound tank there, so it's quite large inside. You probably can't see much of it, but then I just put it on a Princess Auto cart. The welder, my shitty-ass welding table. I work on that one. I'm working on, so the 100-pound, the big guy, the big forge is kind of starting to take its toll on itself. Everything's starting to flake apart on the inside. I didn't do that coating, so my next step is to do that, but it's going to be out of commission while I do that. So I'm working on my original, making it a little bit better. I put a new burner system on and put a door. I'm going to put some cable in there, and I did some cementing and added this front plate. So
Nice.
that'll be my interim while the other ones are being repaired. Like I said, I mostly make my own tools. So this is my first hammer, my flatter, my eye hole punch for hammers, eye hole punch for axes. I'm working on, this is actually Sawzall blades. I drew it out and now I welded it back together again to draw it out some more. It'll be about 75 layers. Just working on some, this will be a fork. I just cut some angles in for a half cube twist. Working on my ribbon burner forge as well.
Oh, wow.
yeah, so it's
Sweet.
of course the ribbon burner part is going to be the hardest part, but it should be okay.
Very shiny.
Very shiny, yeah. Stainless was the only thing I could get my hands on at the time.
Oh,
So I don't-
no. Terrible.
That's okay. So this is my only grinder. Well, this little guy too. But like I said, I'm going to work on the 2x72 eventually. I already got the belts for it. So,
Super.
and the rest is kind of woodworking stuff. So,
Where'd you get those beauty belts from?
well, half of them were from the competition, from the knife competition. The other half was from Derek Foster picked them up for me. I forgot where it broke. But yeah, that's pretty much it. And then, of course, the fridge and the storage, because it's also a garage, but no one can park in here. There's no room, so it's a shop. That's it.
Awesome. I don't have a beer fridge in here. I feel
Me
maybe
neither. I feel bad.
I don't need one. I just open the door and pull something out of the snowbank.
this time of year. Yeah, I guess so, eh? Steve, I've been to your shop. Let's get a tour anyhow.
Yeah.
Give me a
Let's see what we can do here. Okay. So I'm using my laptop. Hopefully this works. So this is where my welding takes place. That's my new forge I'm building right there. It's going to be a ribbon burner forge. Hopefully it comes together soon. It's my little welder and my gas bottles. It's where I do my TIG and my MIG welding. This is my current forge. It's made out of a old compressor tank. And it's a single burner. The burner's not in right now. I take it out every time. It's actually just right here. Just a standard burner. Put the MIG tip in it. And that's just my mechanics tools and a whole bunch of metal junk underneath there. It's where I keep all my springs. And moving along, we got the old power hacksaw. It's an old school one that was built by the same guy I got the lathe from, and works really good.
Okay.
Blade's broken in it right now, but that happens. I got the log splitter forge press that I made of a 6-ton log splitter. So serves its purpose. It's a little underpowered, but gets the job done. Coming this way, I've got my shelving set up here, which is just a bunch of wood shelving. I've got all my wood tools, metal tools, and handle material. They each have their own box. It's quite messy, but
Nope.
works. No problem. I got my sanders over there, so the old 4x36 Mastercraft, and my 2x72 that I built. Kind of right there, Princess Auto motor on it. And this corner is where I do all my handle fitting and filing work and all that. And I got my buffing and wear wheel. I do all my etching right here with the booster pack is sort of what I use there. It's actually nice because it keeps charge all the time and don't have to worry about it. You just plug in and go.
nice.
The old got the drill press, Mastercraft. I love me my Mastercraft. Canadian Tire is the best. And this is the lathe. It's this Husky 6-foot metal lathe. It's kind of
Sweet.
uncovered it. It's pretty nice. And then just some tooling and whatnot. All my glues and random junk is all up top. And underneath is just some tooling for the lathe itself. all the necessary gadgets. And then this whole red toolbox here is all lathe tools, the cutters and whatnot, other reamers, boring tools. And then my welder, my stick welder, I got a Thunderbolt Miller. That's what I do all my stick welding with. And my latest score, I got these cable reels for free.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, there's like 250 yards on the bottom one and 180 yards on the top one. And it's a 5/8 thickness. It's pretty good.
Wow.
Yeah. They were going to toss it, and the guy knows I'm into knives, and he's like, do you want it? Yeah.
Yeah.
Of course I want it.
So
That's pretty much it.
my big question, Steve, is where? Where are you gonna put the hammer?
I know. Okay, so the plan is this gray shelf right here is going. So in all of this stuff in front of it, the water jug and all that, that's where the hammer is going to sit. It's actually only 36 inches from the wall, and that shelf is 24 inches from the wall.
Oh, wow.
So it's only going to come out a little bit in front there and should be okay, I hope. Not much room in here. The only other spot is by the doors. I've got two big double doors right there, and I was thinking of putting it right where the reels are, but then it just takes up my door room, so leaning towards the shelf area. I don't have much time to decide because it arrives in like 22 days.
Wow.
That's pretty exciting.
Yeah, it's very exciting, yeah.
How are you going to roll it into your shop?
Well, I don't have a driveway that goes to the back, as you know, Justin. I'm going to be renting a off-road forklift because the truck drivers are dropping it at the driveway on the street.
No way. Wow.
Driving it from there to the back, yeah.
That's
It's going to be a fun day.
No kidding.
Yeah.
Well, let me know if you need a hand, bud. I'm not down.
Yeah, awesome.
Yeah, no kidding.
That sounds good.
Lyndon, are we doing shop tours too, or?
I suppose. Yeah, sure. I don't really have the camera set up in a way that I can move it around all too much in the shop here. I'll try to.
I'm a little bit in the same way as you. I might be able to though.
Okay, so we'll start off here. You got my 400-pound Peter Wright with all of my not all of my Hardy tools, but a bunch of my Hardy tools are on the bottom. Got my keep my drifts on here as well. A couple other random tools. The wooden mallet. Yeah, everyone needs a wooden mallet. This one's getting close to be replaced. Got my my leg vise right here. If I was to come around the corner a little bit more over this way, I got my welding. I'll turn the camera around here. Kind of see it better. Behind this stuff is my welding table and my welder. And then yeah, they got, you see the press is over there with the metal rack behind it. I used to have real nice access to my metal rack before I decided to build this monstrosity of a beast. Now I can't get up my metal rack. It's like seriously a jungle gym to get back there, but it is what it is. I got a couple other anvils around in the shop. I got that 169 Peter Wright. I've got a right there is a 235-pound Brooks double horn. There's another Brooks right there. I've got my lathe off in the corner, my mill beside it that I don't have enough room for that setup. I have to reorganize some stuff, but everything's so bloody heavy and I'm a cripple, so I'm taking forever doing it. Got my nice compressor. I love that compressor. I almost bought another one to replace it that was 1 horsepower larger. That's a 5 horsepower motor on there. I was going to go to a 6 horsepower And then I was looking at the amperage rating, and it was like, wait a minute, if I go to a 6 horsepower motor, I'm going to be tripping my breaker on a 15 amp plug. That thing, I don't want to have to run it off of 230 because the whole point of having it run off of 110 is that my plasma cutter runs off of my 220. And if I try running my compressor and my plasma off my 220, I don't have a large enough breaker on my 220 to do that. So I run that off of the 110 and my plasma cutter off of the 220. I could up my breaker for my 220 and avoid all that, but yeah, that's why it is what it is. Got my nice 686 build poster in the background because I'm a snowboarder at heart. I love snowboarding, and I used to live by it, by the snow, by the powder. Yeah, and then the shop's just full of like random junk. But one of my favorite things with the way my forge or my blacksmithing area is set up is my forge itself. This forge started off as a Venturi system that worked great. The bricks that we used originally, that a friend of mine and myself built it together. The bricks that we originally used ended up not being the right bricks. Essentially, they melted on us, and I had to rebuild. When I rebuilt, I used the right bricks, and the Venturi system wasn't quite working. I changed the dimension a little bit. I added a blower onto it, and now it works great. I absolutely love it. I've got all of my tongs, got a bunch of my hammers. It's all organized underneath, so it's super quick. If I need different tongs, it's right at the forge. Which I've seen other guys, they've got it at their anvil. The problem that I have with that is now you've got pointing down towards the floor that you're going to catch your leg on, or you're going to catch your foot on, whatever. As it is, I had a really hard time deciding to put these Hardies here because now I'm working on this side of the anvil. I've got a freaking. It's a pain in the ass to do that, but at the same time, it's really not too bad. But it's tongs hanging down here, hammers hanging down here. I feel like I need to touch my fingers. So I went with the forge. They're out of the way over there. They're quick access. Yeah, I mean, I got my striking anvil off to the corner here. I got a swage block over there underneath the press, kind of hiding. Can't see it here. Swage block there. A little Sawyer's anvil that I homemade myself out of a chunk of steel that I picked up. That see the big block right here. This thing is 10-inch by 10-inch. It was 48-inch tall. I cut off a couple chunks of it. That's my Sawyer's block that I've got there, along with another tractor piece welded to the side of it. And then I've got another piece that I was going to make a swage block, and it's sitting off to the side somewhere. And yeah, I don't know. I don't know anything else that I should show you guys. Or that's I don't know. Got my TV off to the side too. Of course, you got to have your TV. I don't have a beer fridge. Like I said, the door is here. I just reach out the door and grab a cold beer out there.
Nice.
Justin?
Yeah, nice shot. Yeah, I'm not terribly mobile here, but I can spin my camera around fairly well. So if it disconnects, I'll plug it back in.
All right.
So there's my entrance. I have a leather cutter right here. Just picked up this guy, which has saved me some time making sheets. It's an old made in Montreal unit. It's fantastic. Oh shoot. I'll see if I can swap over to linen back to myself. Oh yeah. Oh, there we go. I'm sitting right now. Hang on, I'll try one more time. Sorry, guys. Exit, enter.
How's everybody feeling about how this is all rolling out so far? Everybody happy?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. We got some happy hosers here. There's one happy hose here.
All right. Yeah, so this is my work area. Finishing work is what I do here. So kiln over here, it's just a little guy, but it has, yeah, it's like one of those things it upgrades your game for hardening your steel and all that. It just can't temper and it doesn't gets too hot. Over there, drill press. I make these little pinch knives that have a lot of holes in them, so I wanted a good drill press. But I've moved on to water jetting them. They're still not fun to make, so I don't know what I'm gonna do about that. I picked up a drop saw, metal bandsaw over right there, and I mounted it vertically. Move the plug, so it's my metal cutting saw. I've got an anvil here, the horn pointing right, and then another one right there. Oh, usually I have them pointing opposite directions, but they're pointing the same direction now. And there's a vise on that stand as well. 2x72 VFD. VFD helps a lot. There's a 4x48 sander. It's meant for glass, but VSM made me some belts, and I do most of my hogging of wood on there. Works awesome. And just a 4x36. Yeah, maybe it's a 4x60. I'm not sure. Big belts, anyways. Press over here. Another Kijiji special. I don't know what I paid for it. A couple $100. It's cheap. And post vise. I like, this is probably, we were talking about what we like in our shops, valued item. Vacuum. As silly as it is, I love being able to control my vacuum by remote. And yeah, that's my shop. Oh, and my forge is over there. And that's it. That little upside down fridge. It's just a toy that I found at Valley Village. All my sandpaper's in there, all laid out. And a little oven over here for tempering and baking my stabilized wood blocks. That's it. That's the shop.
Nice.
Lyndon,
What's the
we
vacuum?
are running on an hour 32 minutes. We're getting to the end here, bud.
Yeah, I think that we're pushing it, eh? This is a good time, though, man. I've enjoyed seeing all your faces again. It's been too long out of the camera there again. Jesus, Murphy. Who is this guy? And you know what? One of these days we'll find somebody that can operate it properly, eh?
You'll have to get your wife on a tripod there.
Yeah. Well, it's my computer, eh?
Yeah.
But anyways, yeah, it was a right beauty seeing all you ugly mugs again. I would like to do this again sometime in the near future. I look forward to coming and helping you, Steve, with your power hammer. If you need that, man, you let me know.
Awesome. Yeah, I will let you know for sure. That'd be great.
Those wheels, you gotta get those wheels to me too, bro.
Wheels to move it?
No, you gotta get me the wheels for the belt sander.
I got them right there.
Attaboy.
Here we go.
Perfect. Awesome. So let's outro. I want to thank everyone here, Andrew, Steve, Wade, and whoever's watching on Facebook right now. That I see there's a few viewers there. And of course, people are going to be watching it later on the line as well, because they can watch this content later on. If anyone ever has questions, drop them in on the Facebook feed. We're also looking for future presenters. If you think there's someone out there that wants to do a live, reach out and send us their name or send us your name. And we talked about this last night. We're looking maybe trying to figure out some different contest ideas for the guild. So if anyone has any creative ideas, something cool that they want to put out there, go for it. We're just looking to build and grow, and it takes community to do that. So
Andrew, I believe Derek's wife is going to be traveling into Winnipeg on the 4th. I've got a T-shirt and some other stuff for Derek. I'll give him your stickers, so that'll be coming out to you soon.
Oh, perfect. Looking forward to it.
Right on. One last time from you guys, I'd like to know, where can we find you? Wade, where can we find you on social media?
Yes, Facebook, Instagram, Peg City Forge.
Awesome.
Great. And Andrew, where can people find you again?
I just have a Facebook page, Local Embers Blacksmithing. Just there.
Sweet.
If people wanted to reach out to you personally, do you have an email address you want people?
I do. Oak and Embers Blacksmithing at outlook.com.
At Outlook?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Cool. Steve, and what about yourself, sir?
I'm just
You're on Facebook, right?
yeah, just Facebook and Instagram actually. So,
You're on Instagram as well as Dupras Wooden
and Metalworks.
Metalworks. Okay. And do you have an email that you'd want people to reach out to you at all on, or?
That's my name. It's dupra.steve@gmail.com.
Cool. And Wade, sorry, I missed you, sir. Do you have an email that you would want people to reach out to you on if they need to at all, or?
I do, but it's probably easiest if they just communicate through one of the social media sites.
Perfect. That's how I prefer it too. Just reach out to me on Instagram if you can, or Facebook.
How do we do that, Lyndon?
I'm great at getting back at them.
Great. Yeah, for myself, if you want to reach out to me at all, you can email me, abstractblacksmith@gmail.com, or you can reach out to me on Facebook. I'm Lando Novak on Facebook, or you can also reach out to me at the Abstract Blacksmith on Facebook, as well as Instagram. I'm the _abstract_blacksmith. I believe that's what it is. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I could be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's what it is. And Justin, what about you, dude?
Yeah, I'm on Facebook and Instagram under Rainy Day Forge. Email forgerainyday@gmail.com. Yeah, reach out if you've got any questions or you just want to say hi.
Well, Justin, you got some YouTube videos though too, right?
Oh shoot, yeah. I also have a YouTube page. It's under Rainy Day Forge there as well. Some projects I like to document and film. I kind of look at it as a creative outlet, something to consume more of my time, and it's a form of marketing too.
Got that right.
Thanks for catching that, Wade.
No kidding.
Yeah,
eh?
of course.
You there. Oh, guess what? You got yourself a job on the show, buddy. So let's not also forget that the main reason we're doing this, though, is for the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild. You can find the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild on Facebook. We've got something like 260 members at this point. We're always flooding our page with different content that's blacksmith related. So join us on the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild page. Check out our YouTube channel, the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild, and also Instagram. We've got the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild on Instagram. And hit us up.
We've got a website, Lyndon.
Oh, frick, yeah. And this lovely gentleman here has been working diligently on an absolutely amazing website, the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild.ca, right?
Manitoba Blacksmiths. Yeah.
Manitoba Blacksmiths.ca.
Yeah. It's a work in progress.
Oh, well, I mean, you got to start somewhere, right?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, that's
all right.
I hope
and I think you're missing out on one last thing, Lyndon. It's definitely for the Manitoba Blacksmith Guild, but it's also, we're doing this as a practice run to get better, find our voices as we're streaming and stuff, so that we can make ManIron something that runs a little bit smoothly. That hopefully.
Yeah.
Awesome, guys. Thanks, Wade. Thanks, Andrew. Thanks, Steve. Lyndon, you the man.
Yeah, man, that was fun.
All right. Goodbye, everyone.
Bye.
Thank you very much.
Good day, eh?
Good day, eh?